sure you hit that link right here. We live on Twitch right now. Tap in. What's up, Full Circle? It's your boy Flash. Got my guy Official Go Getter working the camera right quick. Make sure you hit that link right here. We live on Twitch right now. Tap in. What's up, Full Circle? It's your boy Flash. Got my guy Official Go Getter working the camera right quick. Make sure you hit that link right here. We live on Twitch right now. Tap in. What's up, Full Circle? It's your boy.
There it is. Yeah, Full Circle. It's a good day. You know, great day in Seattle. Look nice. It's nice and gray. This is where we thrive the best, man. Especially when it's raining, a little bit of drizzle. That's typical Seattle weather, man. I remember playing football in this weather, man, dropping 100. You know what I'm saying? 100 yards, 100 sacks, 100 touchdowns, 100 catches. You know what I'm saying? Looking at 100 people in the crowd. Yeah. Coming to you, man. We got the personal at the end of the clip, right? We got a nice little segment about the economy today. Also, we got Fed rate cuts too. Just had that happen. And they are cutting the rates by 25 pips. Come on. Let's do it. We just broke that Friday high. Let's do it. Come on, let's get to it. We've been talking about this for weeks.
High.
Come on.
I know you guys can see it. We've been straggling this Friday high. So this is the power behind.
Yeah, take that.
I'm tripping. My bad. This is why we need 2 mics. See,
right.
See, you gonna watch us get 2 mics soon. That's investing into the brand. But look, man, we've been straddling this Friday low, right? And we just broke past it, right? So we just broke past it. But this is why I also want to mention it because Flash just announced the rate cuts, right? And Jerome Powell is speaking right now, and this is the power of when the Federal Reserve speaks and the Federal Open Marketing Committee speaks. They have their meeting today. This is when they cut the rate cuts, this is what it does to the market, right? When he talks about the future of what the economy may look like, right? This means that he may be talking about some good stuff because the market is reacting well right now. You see the candle pushing up, and we're on the 15-minute time frame right now, right? We're on a 15-minute time frame. We see how this candle is pushing. This is all happening in 15 minutes. So that's the power of when the Federal Reserve speaks and Jerome Powell speaks. And what's crazy is, man, they're going to be getting rid of him, man. Yeah. You know they're going to be getting rid of him. He's going to be coming out, man. So we're going to be touching on, we might as well just hop straight into it right now. Because that's one of the things we was going to be touching on today. I'm going to hand it off to you, whatever you want to touch on until we start pulling notes up.
Yeah, man, Trump's getting Jerome out of there, man. He's going to put somebody that represents Trump too, man. So, yeah, stay tuned for that because watch, when Trump get to speaking, that same effect that Jerome has right now that he's been having for years, whoever he puts in there is going to, I forget the dude's name, but I have his face in my head low-key. Let me see. Forget the new chairman.
Is that the Vance?
Nah, he's vice president. He's vice president. He moved up fast, though. He was not supposed to be the VP. Yeah. But, so that's another thing, too. After Trump's term, since Vance is the vice president, he got a chance to get up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, right after Trump. And so Trump put him in the position. So you know how the economics, the government go, you know what I'm saying? It ain't never it's always some sly business going on if you know what I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you know what I mean.
So what I'm going to do right now, guys, I'm going to go to CNBC and I'm about to pull it up.
His name is Kevin Hassett.
Say it.
His name is Kevin Hassett, a top economic advisor widely seen as the front runner, though other contenders include federal governor Christopher Waller. But, there's multiple. Christopher Waller, Governor Kevin Warsh, and BlackRock's Rick Ryder. He sounds important a little bit because BlackRock. I think we gotta see what's up with that real quick, cause BlackRock and Donald Trump, that's really his boyfriend. If you ain't know, Larry Fink Larry Fink, who manages BlackRock's fund, I think what was it? 13. Was it what? How many trillions was it? Was it
13 trillion.
13 trillion? He's a management fund. Quick side note too on that. BlackRock got their own crypto, right? They're partnered with the crypto who will bring real world assets on chain, right? So, gold, your house, your mom's car, your dad's Rolex, right? Your grandma's Audemars Baguette, right? However it goes. You know what I'm saying? Granny's pearls, all real world assets. And so what they'll do is bring it on chain, onto the blockchain, and make it a little more valuable. And the crypto that's gonna do that is called Ondo, ONDO. Check that out. They're not the only one though. They're BlackRock. BlackRock manages 13 trillion. But yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, so all right, back to the Fed interest rate cuts, man. As we was talking about, man. So I took the article that CNBC releases, because right now they release it as he talks live. Divided Fed approves third rate cut this year, sees slower pace ahead. But we're not gonna waste all our time reading it. So what I did was copy it so you guys can know exactly how to do it yourself. I copied it, went into ChatGPT. I told him this was the prompt. I gave him the whole article, and at the end I said, break this down in simple terms, referencing the article, right? So he's going to break it down in simple terms, also referencing the article. First thing that we see right here is the Fed cut rates, but not in a bullish way, right? So they cut 0.25%, bringing back the rate to 3.5% to 3.75%, right? But this was a hawkish cut, right? So meaning they lowered rates, but signaled they are not planning to keep cutting aggressively. So you know how we have bullish and bearish in the market. So when we're bullish, the market goes up. When we're bearish, the market goes down. Right. So when we're dovish, when he's talking, dovish means, okay, we think he's talking about it, thinking in a good way, right? When we're hawkish, that's basically like a bull market, or not a bull market, like a bear market, right? So we're thinking he's
hawks fly when they get that food.
Boom. There you go. Because it's crazy how they put it together. You got bulls and bears, you got doves and hawks, right? So that's the key right there. They lowered rates, but they signaled they are not planning to keep lowering rates aggressively. So the cut equals not as bullish as people hoped, right? So people may have hoped that they were going to keep cutting rates aggressively when it comes down to January, but we may not get that same type of energy when it comes down to January. Right. So number two, we get a major disagreement inside the Fed, which is rare plus important. The vote was 9-3, which is very split for a Fed meeting. One member wanted a bigger cut, 0.50. So one member wanted a 50% cut, or 0.50% cut, and the other ones wanted the 0.25. Two members wanted no cut at all. This level of disagreement has not happened since 2019. So, when the Fed is divided, the market gets shaky. So right now, I guess we don't have no clear direction. That's how they're talking. So the Fed reused language from 2024 that signaled a pause. When they used this same wording in 2024, they didn't cut again for months. So this reused language suggests the Fed might be done cutting for a while. That's bearish for markets that want easier money. And this makes sense. They've cut this time. They've cut the last time. And I believe they also cut before that. Jerome Powell was trying to do his best to, mediate it. You know what I'm saying? And now it would be understood if they had to not cut anymore. Yeah. You got anything you want to say?
I was gonna say look at the charts. Let's see what the chart is doing just based off of that information. Yeah, absolutely. Bang.
We still holding above right now. So we're going to see what happens when he's done speaking, and, as the day goes on, obviously, because, it's 11 a.m. right now. This market could come right back to here.
Right.
We still got 2 hours left, right? So another thing was the Fed's future expectations equals almost no more cuts, like we was just talking about, right? Yeah. So their dot plot future forecast showcast only one cut in 2026, only one cut in 2027. Then long-term rate settles around 3%. this rate cut today does not mean a new cutting cycle. They're basically saying don't expect any more cuts, right? So this also makes sense because this also aligns with the fact that, around that, towards the end of 2026 or, towards that, especially in 2027 as well, a lot of investors and analysts are saying that's when we can expect that downtrend that we're looking at. The markets haven't risen 20+% over the last few years. We know that a bear market is expected. So we're going to have a year where it's going to look kind of ugly, right? But that's just going to be an accumulation period, so that's 2030 is coming, like we talking about, and this, you got 2025, how we start just now, and then you go into 2026, you may have another good run up until, towards the mid of 2026, and we might start to see get it ugly, rate cuts not happening, things may start to shift. But that's accumulation period when it comes down to buying these assets. That's going to be a good period for us because assets are going to be cheap again. So inflation is still too high, right? They expect inflation to stay above 2% until 2028. That's 3 to 4 more years, meaning the Fed can't cut too much, meaning the Fed can't safely cut too much. He would make sure that even if he's over there, he's not in. We're good? Yeah. I'm just making sure. All right, bet. The economy is doing better than expected. They raised the GDP estimate for 2026 to 2.3%. A stronger economy means no urgency to cut rates. Inflation might stay higher, right? So the economy is doing better than expected, man. They raised the GDP, which is the gross domestic product estimate for 2026, to 2.3%. And the GDP, you can think of like all the money that comes into America as an economy, all the money that the companies bring in, all the money that comes into this economy. So that means a stronger economy means no urgency to cut rates. Inflation might stay higher. The Fed is buying bonds again. They will start buying $40 billion in treasuries this week. Why? Because funding markets are showing signs of stress. This is a form of support to stabilize markets, but it's temporary. And then Powell, like we talked about, he's going to be out of here soon. He has only 3 meetings left. Biden is leaving, Trump is coming in, and Powell's second term is ending. Markets believe Trump will nominate someone who wants much lower rates, which could be market friendly, but also unpredictable. So how you feel about it?
Yeah, so a lot of things to dive into right here. So 3 meetings left, just because it was the last thing to say. We were just talking about how there might be somebody else coming to sit in that chair, right? And so we would do our best to figure out before he lands in that chair who would be the best candidate for Trump and the economy, exactly for what he wants, right? 2, even with all of this going on, we still have inflation, right? Inflation is still high. So with that being said, don't expect too much of a change when it comes to your everyday life, right? We still got $5 gas, right? We still got, expensive groceries, things of that sort too, as well as bonds, right? When it comes to assets, right? Bonds is like a sort of not necessarily a safe haven asset, but it is something that is really strong because bonds hold their value over time, right? So after maybe I think every year a bond will go up, the value of the bond, and so sometimes bonds be 5 years, there may be 1 year, there may be even 20 years, and so if the market is buying more bonds, right? You said 40 billion being added into the treasury, that may look good, and in that short time it might accumulate a lot of value money there, right? So another opportunity, as well as just like we were saying, we're gonna be in a time of bearishness, right? And just like Fisher Go Getter said, that is a time for accumulation. Everybody has to get their piece while everything is low, right? And then when we have that run up, right, at the beginning of 26, maybe the first quarter one, and we have maybe a little bit of highs with everything, take a little bit of your profits and store that somewhere, so when we get low again, right, them same profits, you didn't go spend that on, hella garbage bags. You didn't go spend that on hella candles for you to make your house smell good, right? You took your investment, you got profits from your investment. Maybe you took a 10% for yourself because you earned it, right? But that other 90, 20, 75%, make sure you save that. So therefore, you can accumulate when the market is low, because come quarter 2, 2026, quarter 3, like that summertime, you know what's up, man. You know how it goes. Yeah,
man, for sure. And this is the good outlook of what we're going to be looking like. Super simple summary that AI provided for us. Just to leave us off with this, Fed cut rates 0.25%. This is not bullish. It was a cautious cut. The Fed is split. Lots of disagreement, uncertainty, volatility. They basically signaled that they may pause rate cuts again, right? This is bearish a little bit for risk assets. Inflation is still high, too high actually. Further cuts unlikely soon. And they're buying bonds temporarily to fix liquidity issues. Powell is almost done, right, which is the Federal Reserve chairman right now, and Trump might bring in a much more dovish, right, Fed chair. Remember, we talked about the word dovish, and we talked about the word hawkish. Right, so what this might mean for the S&P 500, which is also what we're going to roll into. Short-term, volatile, choppy, unsure direction. Medium-term, slightly bearish bias possibly, and then long-term depends on Trump's new Fed chair. So we're going to have to see what's going on, but we see how the markets are reacting right now.
Oh, and we got a nice little pullback coming.
You always get that pullback. That's a good lesson. Even though that we saw that strong part happening, and that was a good moment, when that happens, that's not always something you can rely on because a pullback is coming. We got to see what happens after when it's all said and done. So, but still holding up strong, man. Still holding up strong. So that's really leads us into our SPY breakdown, our Bitcoin breakdown, and our FCW portfolio breakdown, right?
Real quick, go to like NAS real quick or US 30. See what those are talking about. 'Cause I'm looking at gold right now. I'm looking at gold.
I'll pull it up for you so you can get up on that NAS.
Gold had a nice run up of almost 20 points. Ooh, 30 points right at 11 o'clock. This 15-minute candle. And so we gold went up about 30 points. Here, let me show you this leg up. Let me show you this leg. Let me see what the camera can see. You see this big gray candle, right? And we had, that candle started at 11 o'clock. As you can see right there at the bottom. We had 11 o'clock news. Jerome ran up 30 points, and now we're crashing down, right? Now we're coming low.
What time frame you want? You go ahead on the NAS.
I just really wanted to look at it, honestly, to see what it was talking about. Let's see.
You looking at the NAS more than me.
Let's see. Let's go 15 minute. 15. Ooh, it kind of looks like the same type of structure, type of price action. We had that nice pull up at 11 o'clock. That nice long candle wick. Let me see how many points this is. From the low of that, from 11 o'clock all the way there. Let me see. That's 131 points in 15 minutes. It's on the 15-minute candle or 15-minute time frame. So that goes to show you how powerful it is when the chairman gets to talking, right? We haven't gotten a chance to really break this down and how volatile the markets become once the Federal Reserve speaks, specifically Jerome Powell. He has a tendency of doing that too. He's been doing this. I've even when I wasn't in the market, I would see like memes and things of that sort, specifically breaking down how powerful he is when he talks, right? So yeah, this is NAS 100. Let's look up US 30 real quick. US 30.
And if you don't remember what NAS 100 is, US 30, S&P, SPX, man, go watch our last video, man. It's in the last video of part 1 where we break it down.
Right. But how many viewers we got in here right now?
About one.
That's all that good. So, real quick though, if you don't know, right, you do need to go watch our last video, just like Official Go Getter said. Real quick, the US 30 is the top US 30 companies all in one together. It's a ETF fund, right? So, NAS, same thing. Top 100 companies of the US. And so we seen that both of those charts were kind of the same. As well as the SPX 500, right? It's pretty much SPY, but just the index, yeah. So, yeah, you see how we're doing. We're all looking the same. Let's look at gold real quick. Look at gold on the.
I don't got it up there. You gotta look it up.
It's good. I ain't gonna lie, that was the wrong port too.
You said that was what?
The wrong portfolio. Not the wrong. It was just not the full circle. Yeah. I'm tweaking. Where's the commodities? Oh, funds. Whatever. Gold. Right here. Damn, man. Yeah, I got you. So yeah, we had this long run up, right? Like I said, that 30-point run. Let me see how many points exactly. That was a rough. It was a rough guess. Yeah, just about 30 points, 29, and I from end to end.
So for the people who don't know with the points, break down what the points and how significant 30 points really is and what that means. Here you go.
So, for gold specifically, in the trading aspect, I'm gonna switch the perspective a little bit, right? So 30 points, depending on, real quick lesson, depending on your contract size, how much you want to buy of gold to trade, is how big of a move it is for you. So you buy one contract of gold, then it's $100 a point, right? But if you buy 0.1% of a contract, then it moves up $10 a point, right? And so just doing that math, you do 0.5 of a or half of a contract, that's $50 a point, right? Bang. So let's just say, as soon as Jerome spoke, I knew that the market, I had indicators that the market was going to be bullish for the time being of him speaking, right? As soon as he said, hello, fellas and ladies and gentlemen, I knew that the market was going to go up, and I put one whole contract, and then we got the new 15-minute. Let me look at the 5-minute real quick.
Now I'll keep breaking that down.
You got you. I knew that it was going to be bullish. I bought one contract of gold, right? $100 a point. That means it moved 30 points. So $10 would have been $1,000, right? Or 10 points, 15 points would have been $150. Tweaking? No, I'm lying. I bought the one contract. It moved up 30 points. I'm up 3 bands because it moved 30 points. And like I said, it's $100 a point. So just 1 point is $100. 2 points, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to $33,000, right? So let's just say I had multiple contracts. We getting deep, but it's just a compound thing on top of that. So, bang. Now, when it comes to how important it is, gold doesn't really run up 30 points often. Usually a lot of gold traders would like that 10 to 15 to 20 point trade. But because 30 points as soon as Jerome speaks, that's major, because like I said, it doesn't really run up 30 points like on a daily time frame. Or like if we look at daily, I think on average it'll probably run up about maybe 13 points for the high, or even in either direction, maybe like 13 to 20, right? But 30 is a lot of points, especially for something when it comes to when we're talking about the economic state of where we're at right now as a country, or as a country, right? And so yeah, you think that was good enough? I think
that was great. That was cool.
Yeah,
that was great. Yeah, because long story short, just to even touch on top of what he said, when he broke down the contracts, that shows you the opportunity and also how risky it is during these moments to make a significant amount of money. So there's traders right now, on top of going back to, gold moving $100 a point. If it moves up 30 points, right, and you see the market move as quick as it did in the time frame that it's done, you make a significant amount of money in a small amount of time, right? 15 minutes, 5 minutes, seconds even, right? So it doesn't take long for the market to go up and then for the market to go down, right? So
let me touch on this one more time, just to show that gold doesn't usually go up 30 straight points often, right? This is we're on the 15-minute time frame. This is the 8th of December, so Monday, right? So just from this week, we have a couple moves. The biggest move, and it wasn't even like necessarily straight up. There was a little bit of left or sideways movement right here, but it only went up 23 points, right? Next move after that, straight up candle, only 17 points, right? Let me do one more. There's another one right here. A little small move. This is only 9 points, what I just marked out, right? So we go back to what happened today, 15 or about 30 minutes ago. Just like I said, 30 points is major when it comes to, let me go back to the 15-minute time frame because it looks a little better. 30 points straight, 30 point candle is major. Oh. 30 points is major. I don't know why it looked like that. Nevertheless, 30 straight points is, yeah, that's crazy, right? Just overall showing exactly where it went to. Again, my fault, one more time. About 29.1 points. So just like I said, for this to happen, you know that we're really moving, and the Federal Reserve Chairman has a lot of power when it comes to what we're dealing with in the markets, especially as a trader and even retail, right? But it generally affects traders.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just like, and understanding the risk, because receipts. Just understanding the risk too, right? Just like Official Go Getter was saying, how risky these types of trades are. That shit went up 30 points straight. I should have been looking. I tried to catch a little couple points when we had first started. I caught no points, broke even, closed that trade immediately. We ain't finna lose no G's, man.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about the status of the crypto and Bitcoin, man.
Yeah,
we see that we're here now. We're gonna move on to crypto and Bitcoin. And let me actually pull up the Full Circle Wealth portfolio. Let's go to the Bitcoin. Bitcoin up there at 92,000, man. At that resistance point close to that 93,000, yeah, but we're definitely in that range between 83 and 93,000, man. How you feeling about crypto, man? How you feeling about breaking out?
Yeah, remember about 2 weeks ago we were in that I was saying we could see the end of the bullish market, or bullish. Yeah. It could be the end of the bullish market for crypto. Excuse me. And how important it was for us to bounce back from that, because if we stayed at those lows, then remember that fear indicator that I showed about 2 weeks ago? That would be even lower. Remember, we were looking at it and it was about, I think it was 17 or it was 13 when we was looking at it. And so I say, let's look that up real quick right now. Matter of fact, just like he said, we're in a range, right? So we came down and we hit this low and bounced right back off of it. A little bit of consolidation, came up, hit it, right? And we stayed right like toward in the middle of that range, around about 80, 88, just right in the middle of 89,000, right? Just a little bit higher than the middle of the range. And so now we may break out. And so what that looks like for us would be we might see $100,000. Remember, like I was saying, Q1 and the rest of this month is usually bullish. Every year, December is really that year of, like, for crypto markets, it's for that. We usually get that leg up. So I believe if we break this range past this 93 mark, this 93,000 mark, then we could potentially see a little bit of a leg up and maybe hit towards those higher or even lower 100,000s up in this area here. Let me. You got I'm gonna just put it right here. Up in these levels right here, hitting somewhere around here. Damn. Hitting somewhere around here, we have this demand zone. Actually, right here, and this is 109. Yeah, so we could potentially come see that come up right there. Even this low.
Supply zone.
You're right. My fault.
No, you're good. I wasn't saying you was wrong. I was just trying to make sure.
Yeah.
If they heard, but yeah.
Yeah. One more with the
Keep going.
other cryptos as well, right? Everything is still in that downtrend, right? But XRP is not in that range. Chart, right? Yeah. Everything is still low as well. This is definitely, all of these are buying opportunities. Bitcoin, XRP, HBAR. We can look at Flare real quick. that's still sitting at a penny, right? So that's definitely a great buy, honestly. A penny. Let's look at this. Let's look at this up real quick. Coin market cap. Remember, this is where I tell you I get all the crypto information from. When it comes to, this is not it. When it comes to figuring out what's going on, and so the fear indicator, we're sitting at 30, right? Last week, I think it was at like 17 or 13. I don't remember, but we are there. But it is still. Hold on. No, yeah, no, we still in Bitcoin season. But what I wanted to show was because Flare is a penny. Let's see how many Flare tokens we could get with $100. Can you move it a little bit closer? Can we see this? Appreciate it. So, Flare is 1 penny, right? So let's say for $1, how many Flare tokens can we get? And that says we can get 77 tokens, right? So now we do that math. That means if 1 token is $77, then 100 or 10 tokens is 770 tokens, right? So let's just say I was a crypto whale and I had 1,500 to throw into the market right now. That would give me over 100,000 tokens. And so, just to do a little bit of math, if I were to buy and have $100,000 tokens, right, and this went up to, let's say $1. No, that's a lot. Let's say it went up to 10 cent, right, which is I believe that's not a 10x. I think that's maybe like a 3x almost, right? So my 1,500 is easily it's tripled 3 times for sure. I think if it's 30 cent because it's a cent now, so 50 cent would be 500x times 5. Yeah. So like I said, my 1,500, my initial investment would be 15 times 5 is 60, I believe. Or 75. Yeah, 15 times 5 is 75. So my initial 1,500 initial investment just 5x, and now I got 7,500 in the account. So, all my crypto whales out there, if you got, what I'm saying, it's a great buying opportunity. Also, one more real quick. One more since we on the website that we haven't talked about as much. XDC is 5 cent, right? And also, we're looking at the 24-hour. We're up, right? I need to low-key look at the portfolio because I ain't even know. Let me see.
What kind of utility do these guys got?
So, this says, and also, CoinMarketCap gives you a detailed description of what the crypto is, right? So let's read it real quick, and we're not gonna go too deep. But the XDC network is a blockchain developed to support trade, finance, and tokenization of real-world assets. Remember, I was just saying, just like Ondo, right? And how they're bringing, real-world assets on chain, and they weren't the only one that was doing it. So I could give these headphones, if they had monetary value other than the market price, right? And those went up in value, I could put those on the blockchain. This microphone, put it on the blockchain. It's a real world asset that is tangible that I could touch that becomes digital on the blockchain, increasing its value. So, XDC is a blockchain network developed to support trade, finance, and tokenization of real world assets. An EVM compatible blockchain. XDC network utilizes a state-of-the-art delegated proof-of-stake consensus engine to provide high-level security, right? So not only will they allow your assets to be tokenized, but they're secure while they're tokenized and they're unhackable. You can't just get into it. We have a lot of quantum computing, right, coming out. NVIDIA, all those types of quantum computing companies, right? This incorporates quantum security to prevent hackers from hopping right up in there, right, and stealing your, your gold, right, your grandma's pearls, right, grandpa's championship ring, right, that is real gold. So yeah, quick breakdown, right? The price of XDC is 5 cent, right? So let's just do that math again with that how we did it, right? So $10 gets me almost 200 tokens, 198, right? So let's say I had $100. That's almost 2,000 tokens, right? So on and so forth. Let's do a quick 1,500 just to show you. 1,500 gives me 30,000 tokens. Yeah, and that is that. Anything? How you feeling? We done with the markets?
Feeling good. Feeling good. I'm just about to break down, just a few things real quick. Shout out to Flash for the crypto breakdown real quick. But we just gonna break down just a few things. Let me just make sure, make sure that they able to see me in the screen real quick. But back to the price of SPY, man. We're at the price of 684. We're trying to see if we still stay above that price of 684 or if we stay below it now. So that's something to look out for. Heading towards that 700 is what I'm hoping for by the end of the year, man. So we'll see how this sentiment plays out. Meta, I just want to touch on Meta's at a good buy zone right now as well. We just hit a rejection from 675 after his run up, after that good news. I've been talking about Meta all year. We ended up having a gap up from where we're at now, 644, all the way up to 675, almost overnight when Meta had announced some news about them spending less on certain things, and that's going to be able to have more money in their pockets. So, hey, expect these call outs pretty soon, man. We've been doing our thing. If you guys want it, let us know. Definitely been doing this chart work. Definitely been looking at these charts and able to give you guys some reliable prices to buy in at, swing trade at, get out at, all these things, right? So if you guys want these, let me know, because this was something that I charted out just a few days ago. Just noticing that they like to have that pullback and fill those gaps when it comes down to the market, right? So even though I had seen that they had that run up, I knew they was coming back, and hey, look at what happens today. We hit that 644, man. So, grab you some quality assets. Choose your quality asset. Meta, SoFi, Nvidia, whatever the case is. Netflix. Just looking at S&P 500 and figuring out what suits you the best, man. But other than that, man, that's all I wanted to touch about when it came down to these markets. Next, we got a little bit about how much time we at? Like 40 minutes?
Yeah, 37, yep. Just about
40 minutes. Just to touch on it real quick. And actually I don't have any personal questions, or I don't have one, so if you want to think of one or cook one up real quick while I'm about to touch on the Netflix and Paramount deal. We can hop right into that after this segment. But, I just wanted to touch on, how we touched on it a couple weeks ago. We saw that Netflix was acquiring Warner Bros., right? And we were just talking about the idea of it, but it came to light. So they had it come to light, and Netflix ended up acquiring Warner Bros., and they were in a fight with Paramount to get it, right? And, these are two streaming service platforms that are looking to get into the real television and production game, right? Hollywood, they're trying to combine with Hollywood. Netflix ended up getting it. They offered $72 billion, but Paramount also did a hostile takeover offer, right? So this is something new that we had to learn. A hostile takeover when it comes down to business is coming into a deal with a much higher offer to cause investors and the executives to make a decision that they have to consider, right? So they could be sued if they do not consider this offer, Warner Bros., right? So what they came with is Paramount offered $108 billion, while Netflix offered $72 billion. Paramount also offered more money per share, right? When it came down to buying their shares, they offered $30 per share, and Netflix offered $26 per share, right? Shout out to Market Mondays and my boys out in your leisure for the information, right? Netflix originally thought that they had the deal sealed, but it wasn't confirmed, right? And long story short, man, these streaming platforms are, looking to get into that Hollywood game. And, something that was also interesting was the fact that Paramount actually has to raise money to get the $108 billion that they're looking for. They actually don't have it, right? They're not profitable. Out of the other streaming platforms, the only one that is profitable and actually making money is Netflix. They did $40 billion in revenue within the last year, but they also kept $10 billion in profit. So they're profiting, man. They're making money. Adding this gives them more debt, onto their into their company. Netflix would add the Warner Bros. Debt onto their company, but it would have to be something that plays out in the long run because that debt may hinder the company for a while. But if they have the profits to back it up over the years, that could work out for sure. So back to the Paramount having to have money raised. So when it came down to 108 billion, they don't have it. Netflix has their money, but Paramount has to actually outsource for their money. So it comes down to the Saudis that they're going to be working with. They're going to be working with Jared Kushner. I'm actually not too sure who that is and his importance. Tencent, but I know Tencent is a company based out of China, right? So they are all investing to help raise the money. So, this would mean that, other countries would have control over our media, right? You would get in our data, you would get the Saudis and to have some of that information, and Tencent, which is China. So that comes down to how comfortable people are to actually doing that. But that's just about it. It just wanted to touch on that. You want to touch on anything?
Yeah. Talking about this a little bit more, I was looking at the stocks of all of these companies: Paramount, Netflix, Warner Bros. And just like you were saying, Paramount needs some money, right? They can't fulfill. They're on the broker end. They're a little broke right now, man. They need a little bit of help. So Netflix stepping in, you know what I'm saying, and they're still in that. They're getting that 3.4 or 3 out of 4% of the company, right? Damn, and even lower. I think it was like $17 when I had said something. That was on like Monday. What day was that? See, 16. Yeah, man, they're creeping down. Earlier, or this is last year. No. This is this year. What's this low right here? $10. Yeah, man, just touching up. I seen the overall health of the company, right, and where they've been before, to where they are now, right. They're in desperate need of assistance, right, and so Netflix coming in, saving the day, that might be something. That might be or they're still in Warner Bros. Out from under them, right? It's gonna be hard for them to even want to sue because they're already deep in the well, right? Their well is kind of poisoned, meaning their bucket of money is on fire, right? They're scratching and itching. So hopefully there's no lawsuit, right? And so now instead of there being Netflix versus, right, like another streaming platform like Hulu, right, or like HBO Max. Hulu's big, but instead of Netflix versus Hulu, it's more like Netflix versus like YouTube, right? And it's more of a where we have pay-per-view events coming to Netflix, which is major. We got you know what I'm saying? We got movies on YouTube, right? So yeah, it just goes to show where the playing field is and how streaming is gonna become pretty near in the future, right? Yeah, that's about it for that. Anything else you want to touch up?
Nah, man, that's really about it for the markets. We broke down the interest rates and whatnot. See, back to the volatility. We was looking at the 15-minute earlier, but if you widen it out and you're looking at the daily, the market is moving up strong, man. So yes sir. You end up getting that question?
Yeah, I got a couple for us.
Let's do it.
Right, switching topics. Let's get into that mode, right? And so there are things that get overlooked when it comes to what one would cherish, right? So that might be like your favorite hat, or that might be your. Yeah, I wasn't in there, huh? It might be what's valued as your favorite hat, right? Or what I'm saying, your favorite pair of shoes, right? Your favorite bracelet or accessory that you wear, right? So my question for you and to the viewers is, what is something that you didn't value before, but now it means everything?
A pair of AirPod Maxes, a pair of quality headphones, even if it's not these, but the AirPod Maxes happen to just be the most quality headphones I've ever had in my life. Yeah, no, these right here for sure. That's along the question, right? Okay, I'm just making sure. Yeah, no, these right here is something that I just I didn't know before, and it took for me to actually stop driving and get rid of my car and come out to the city more to even realize how much a quality pair of headphones even matter. But I went from the AirPods. I went to get the Beats when I had first started using overhead headphones, and then I landed on these, and nothing sounded better than these, man. Yeah. So I like just forget. Like, it's just an overall experience, man. Like, I wake up, and throughout the day, it's out of my routine that I'm always walking around the city with a pair of these on, listening to something, right? It's a beautiful experience. But how about you, my man?
Yeah, honestly, man, what I didn't value before that I do now is a good setup, right? We got you guys on this tripod, top tier, right? We got the setup here, the aesthetic, overall look. We got multiple screens bussing, right? We got the board, you know what I'm saying? Just the overall work environment is something that I didn't value when I was younger before, or not even necessarily younger, but what I undermined at first, because I never really understood the importance of your environment becoming who you are. We got Full Circle Wealth up all day, every day. This screen, I mean, other than when we're using the computer, but this stays like this, right? This is a reminder every day, right? Full Circle Wealth. We got the city in the back, right? The city on our back, and everything we do revolves around us and the city. So, yeah, the overall breakdown of the environment and like how we live and work is what I value a lot. Cause this is the studio, man. We can't work if everything was hella cluttered. You know what I'm saying? Everything was, you know what I'm saying? We had all kind of stuff all over the place. We got mics, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything that we use that's right here is utilized. There ain't nothing that's here for no reason, right?
Yeah, man.
Come on.
This wouldn't work if it was the trap house, man.
Exactly. Keyboard, everything, right? Everything matters and it's here for a reason. We got webcams. Come on, bro. You see us, right? Everything is being utilized, and so take advantage of that too. Make sure that your environment is exactly where you want it to be. Make sure your environment is exactly what you want it to look like and workable too. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that it ain't just, you know what I'm saying, gum wrappers, right? It ain't, I could say a whole bunch of stuff that could be on the desk, but make sure that it's stuff that you are utilizing and working with every day. So, my next question is, if you could relive 1 year of your life with the mindset you have now, what year would it be?
That is a good question. It might, with the mindset that I have now, everything right that now. I have now.
Yep. What 1 year would you relive? If you can go back
2023 summer. That's when I had went to Invest Fest for the first time, and that's what we was talking about. I didn't have I didn't have the mind that I have now. I didn't have the value that I have now. I didn't have a lot that I have now. And I would be able to just create more opportunities for myself, connect with more people, and just a lot more would come from that. And I'd be able to show up much better than how I did in 2023. Not to say that I was wrong for how I showed up in 2023. I showed up great and I learned a lot. And it's not that I showed up any type of crazy way, but I just didn't have the knowledge and the wisdom that I do now. And if I were to go back to any point in my life, I would go back now to that point, and it would have went much differently.
For sure. For me personally, man, I'm going back to 2020, right when our economy was trash. Oh my goodness. With this type of trader mindset that I got right now, boy, Full Circle Wealth would have been here. You know what I'm saying? We would have, you know what I'm saying? We would have been, I would have been with you in Invest Fest. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would have been top tier. We go back to 2020, everything is low. SPY's like $300-400, right? Nvidia's $10. You feel me? Like, I don't even think they was IPO'd yet. Nah. Yeah. For sure.
But they wasn't eating. SPY was in his 200.
See, come on now. Go to Bitcoin for the one time real quick. 2020 Bitcoin. 2020 big. See, it ain't even the screen. What we at? $5,000. Mm-hmm. Boy.
Then you get that breakout at the end of 2020.
Come on.
And then you go from 5, you get to.
Yeah. So, and I was working in 2020. So, therefore, I would have definitely had a Bitcoin for sure, right?
2 months, like it went from. Break it down.
Yeah.
So
Go from the beginning. Go from the beginning.
Really, I just want to highlight this. Like, from the beginning, but look at how it went from here to here in that short period.
Yeah, in a year, we went from from the low. Let's just say in October.
This was October 2020.
10 bands, right?
And this was January 21.
Right.
No,
so 3 months.
That was 3 months.
Yeah, and then we got price going. What was that? It say 21
64
in that same year.
April.
Right.
It
So
took you to go from 10,000 to 64,000
in the span of 6-7 months. Terrible. There's about 7 months, right? And so yeah, I will go back to 2020. Go get me my assets accumulated, right? So 5 years from then, right? Whole different person, whole different bank account, whole different set of experiences because I done been in the markets, right? Really already indulging. I remember 2022 we had hit Bitcoin. I hit 100K for the first time, right? I was at work. I was at Pal American working where I met you. You know what I'm saying? I watched it hit 100K and I'm like, damn, right? I remember when it was just that. You feel me? Like it really get like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go back 2020, getting stocks, getting crypto, buying ETFs, right? Yeah, or the daily candle. We ain't. I mean, it's been up the whole time. The camera to show that it's moving.
We just hit that 688, that Friday high. I need to. Man, we about to hit that 700, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, man. Last question, right? Excuse me. What is something that? Wait. Let me make sure I get it right. What is something you didn't realize was a flex until you got older?
Something that I didn't realize was a flex until I got older was, not flexing is a flex.
Yeah.
I really had to learn that. Like, being able to be the person who can just build their life in silence and not flex is the biggest flex of all. And yeah, that's it, plain and simple.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is just because when you ain't worried about flexing, when you ain't worried about keeping up from with the Joneses or just keeping up with the culture in general, man, you get to this utmost peace, man, and all you worried about is building your life. Then you get to see how many other people are trapped. But yeah, not flexing. How about you?
Yeah. Let me think. What is a flex that I didn't know was a flex before, right? And I didn't feel like was a flex till I got older. Low key. I'm gonna go with assets, right? Doubling down. I'm gonna go with assets. For you to have, just like you said, flexing, right? You can flex. You know what I'm saying? You got a cool car, right? You got a cool, you know what I'm saying? You got the $10 pair of shoes, $10,000 pair of shoes. You feel me? You got the Louis on, but you don't got no assets. Tweaking. You for anybody to say they got, you can have as little as like an ETF fund, right? It don't even matter. And that ain't even little. Watch my mouth, right? You got assets of any kind, top tier flex. There ain't nothing better than that, right? Flexing in behind the scenes is the ultimate flex, not flexing out loud, just like you said. And on top of that, having assets, right? Like I said, go back to 2020, half of a Bitcoin would do justice today, right? Still 95K, 92K, right? So yeah, that's my flex, assets.
That's a good one, man. And speaking of assets, man, you know, these we got a few stocks on sale, man. I really want to shout out our boy here. Shout out to Flash, man. He was talking about picking up Netflix, and he called out the price of $100, and we're at $93, right? So, you know, Netflix is making a downturn, but it's, you know, it's also a good opportunity to buy, like we always talk about. You know, I had this level at 82 marked out, and it's thinking that, you know, we can get there eventually. Netflix is gonna have to turn around if they end up going through with this deal. But boom, 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 boom. We got some new. We have some new news that look like about Netflix. I don't have to get into all that though. But yeah, assets on sale. That's the real flex.
Yeah.
To own these companies, man. To own cryptos. To own certain assets. That's the goal. That's the real flex, man.
Let me see that real quick.
Yeah.
You remember when we were talking about the gold ETF, right? The GLDC. Let me look that up real quick. Let me go GDLC.
Oh, it's right there.
Oh, I'm tweaking.
That's the crypto ETF. You want the gold ETF?
Yeah, well that too, yeah. Crypto, my fault. When we had brought this up at the beginning, we was up in the higher 60s or the lower 60s, but we was in the $60 range, right? So another ETF that's on sale, GDLC, right? And it stands for. It is the crypto ETF that holds Bitcoin. It held XRP. It held Cardano, Ethereum, and there was one more that I'm missing, but it holds the top 5, right? And so you can get it as low as $44 and get a piece of all of those crypto. Bang. Also, that gold ETF. What was that? You was right.
Right there, GLD.
Am I blind?
At the bottom.
Oh, yep. Bang. We got gold ETFs. Not necessarily low, they're not necessarily on sale, but they are below the high, which is at $400, right? And we're at $388. Yeah, man. Get you some assets, man. That's the toughest flex, man. You don't gotta go flex the shoes. You don't gotta go flex the, you know what I'm saying, the $10,000 jacket from Celine, you know what I'm saying? You don't gotta flex the Miri jeans, bro. Go get you some assets, bro. Go lock in. Q1's coming up, bro. We're coming up to the end of Q4. You know what I'm saying? Got that. There ain't no off season either. Go get that bag, man. Go get them assets. Double down, triple down, quadruple down, quintuple down. Man, go get them assets. It's what's gonna save you. It's what's gonna save you. You're about 50 years old. You don't got no Nvidia. You don't got no Apple, right? We got Apple sitting at 5 bands for the you feel me, for the stock. They done did a split 6 times. They're still at 5 bands, so it's really 50 bands for the, you feel me? Get you some Apple stock, man. Get you some get what you can.
Wait, what do you mean by the 5 bands by Apple?
When you're 50 years old, when we're 50.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. Oh, so touch on that again, just so they can understand. You was talking about being the future of being that age.
Yep.
I thought you was talking to somebody who was 50 years old.
Nah,
okay, go ahead and break that down again. When we are 50.
Exactly.
You know, Apple yep.
When we turn 50 years old, Apple's sitting at 5K, right? And they done did a split about 3 times, right? So it's really like, yeah, you got hella shares, right? You know what I'm saying? Go get you some Apple, bro. Go get. It don't even need to be Apple. It does need to be Apple, but that don't got to be your first one. It's a little more expensive for the beginning investor, but
we just brought up Netflix.
Get you right.
$93.
Come on now, Netflix $100, below $100.
$184.
Come on, man, get you some assets, man.
But other than that, man, you know, it's your boy Fisher Go Getter. It's your boy Flash, man. We came at you guys with both Wednesdays, man, going live at you guys, man. We went strong. Let me pull up how many minutes we had going on at you guys, man. We got an hour coming to you guys with some good content. So catch the playback on our YouTube, man. Follow us on all platforms, right, at Full Circle Wealth. Instagram at Full Circle Wealth. Subscribe to the YouTube at Full Circle Wealth. Twitch at Full Circle Wealth. Join the free community. Link in the bio at Full Circle Wealth, man. We'll see you guys next week.